morning, guys. This is Janet Brown coming at you from the Geek Girls Academy, and I am joined today with my fabulous co-host, CJ and Aya. How we doing, CJ?
Doing fabulous, like you said.
Yes, I love fabulous. Fabulosity. It's a great thing. So today on the More You Know, we are going to take on a really fun topic, and I'm going to pitch it at CJ because when there's two of us, I can do this. CJ, can you or should you format your own book for ebook and print?
You can. You absolutely can. The question of whether you should or should not format your books for ebook and print has everything to do with time and budget and if you really want to dig into the nitty-gritty of that. Some people will learn formatting skills for ebook and paperback layout because they want to save money. They're on a budget and they figure, well, if I do it myself, I don't have to pay a freelancer. Other people do it for the budgeting purposes, but also because they kind of learn a little bit about it and they're like, oh, I actually enjoy this. That was me. I was like, I love this so much. And other people are
It's
like,
fun.
I hate every single thing about this. I would rather, poke my eye out with a dull lead pencil than have anything to do with interior design of anything. And then there are those folks who do enjoy it, like me, but you sit there and you go, and this is Jana's refrain, would my time be better spent writing? Okay. So you really do need to ask yourself, what are your goals? Do you have enough time? What about the budget? Do you really want to do something like this? We are always going to encourage you, if you can, to outsource things so that you can focus on writing. Okay.
Yep.
But but again, this is going to be different for everybody. So can you? Yes. Should you? Depends on circumstance. Okay. So really assess where you're at, what you need to do, time management, budget, and if you even want to do it, and then you can go from there. But if you do want to actually begin the process of formatting books and learning how to do that and use that software, there are things out there. So Jana, do you want to tell us about that real quick?
I can, but let's tell you all about it. So there are actually a whole bunch of softwares out there for getting a document and turning it from a Word doc, a Scrivener doc, or whatever into something you can upload with a distributor. Now, word of warning here. Many distributors allow you to upload a Word file or an exported Scrivener document. We personally do not advise that you do this, and you will find people who are rabid on both sides of this particular argument because there was a time before all these cool softwares existed that all you could do was use Word to pretend that it's a formatting software, which it totally isn't. It's word processing, which is a different thing. But there were people who got very good at making Word do song and dances that turned out with at least okay ebook and print books. Okay. So some people got good at that and they still love it and they will cling to their Word documents until you pry it from their dead and bleeding fingers. All the more power to them. However, especially for beginners, if you don't know all the ins and outs of Word in order to be able to do this, you're going to get an ugly ebook. You're going to get an ebook that has spaces in weird places. You're going to get an ebook that doesn't have indents. You're going to get that. And don't get me started on how weird the paperback will look. So we don't advise using Word or just using the export from Scrivener. There's an export from Canva, which I have mixed emotions about. It's okay. There's an older software called Juto, which will give you a decent PDF or PDF and EPUB, but it is not as good as what is more modern. So what is more modern? What do we advise? There are three softwares that I would go with. The first one, if your book is very simple in its layout, you're looking to not have a lot of scene breaks, cool header things like graphics and all that kind of stuff. You just want the simplest possible thing at the best possible budget. Draft to Digital has an online formatter as part of their system, part of their tools. All you have to have there is an account. You don't even actually have to publish the book with them to use their formatter. You can take a Word document, drop it in their formatter. It will apply very basic templates to it. And then you can export that file and you can then upload it any place you want. Before I bought the softwares we'll talk about in a second, I used that one especially for short stories. So I was hiring out my longer novels because I wanted real consistency there. I wanted headers and footers and all sorts of stuff. But when I was doing my short stories for lead magnets, I don't want to pay for that. So I just used their freebie. And for something like that, it works fantastically. It really does. But it is very straightforward, very simple formatting. Then there are two softwares that are probably the gold standard. The first one is called Vellum. It is Mac only. It costs you about 250 to $300 for a lifetime. You have it forever kind of thing, and you will get all of the updates as part of that lifetime. It has been around for, gosh, what are we up to, CJ? Like 10 years that Vellum's been around? It's been
Yeah,
a while.
yeah. And it just keeps
It, it,
getting better and better, which thank you,
it
because
really does.
it's what I use. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. Vellum is wonderful. The biggest problem with it, if you want to call it a problem, is that it is Macintosh only.
Right.
We tried running it in with the Mac in Windows. It took up so much. My poor computer, and my computer's a gaming computer, y'all. And you layered those things and then tried to run Vellum, and it went, yeah, and it wanted nothing to do with it. So you can try to do that. Otherwise, you either need to natively work on a Mac or you have to be willing to say, I'm going to have my PC that I work on, and then I'm going to send it to the Mac, and the Mac is where I will format it. And I know people who do that too, but it adds this extra step. So that's the pro and con with Vellum. The up-and-comer is a software called Atticus. It's by Dave Chesson. He also does Publisher Rocket. Atticus is web-based, though they're also working on a resident app that would sit on your laptop and can be used on a Mac. It can be used on a PC. It can be used on all sorts of things. Okay. You just go in and you put in atticus.io, you log in, and it opens up and you can work right there. Atticus is not as robust as Vellum is because it's only been out for about not quite 2 years. So it's still a baby. It's still there's a lot of learning curve, but it's a little bit cheaper. It's 147, and that's again a lifetime thing. So every time they do an update, you get another one, which is really, really lovely. It is written by people who are authors, so there are some things that it does that you go, oh, that was really smart. It's like, yeah, that's because a frustrated author coded this part. And they have these really, really grandiose plans. If they all work out, Atticus, I think, will become the new gold standard, but we'll see because there's a whole lot of they want to be able to make collaborations possible and editing possible and lots of things, y'all. But I use Atticus because I am a PC owner and I don't want to have two computers and I'm not going to move to a Mac. You can argue the Mac PC thing later. But so those are the three ways that we would suggest if you're going to do it yourself, jump in there and learn those. Atticus and Vellum will both do the much more complex stuff. Vellum just released things so you can do box sets. And CJ, tell them what you've been playing with in Vellum because it's really, really cool.
Oh, so Envelop, I've been having a really fun time with it. If you ever get those beautiful paperbacks or hardcovers or special editions where the background is transparent at the beginning of each chapter, you've got this beautiful background header that is just it's just behind the text. And I've been playing with that and having a good time with it. And something that I discovered, which I'm not actually sure how long it's been around. I think it seems like a new thing. You can actually alternate those. So you can have different types of background headers for each chapter, which is nice because many times with softwares like this, the joy of it is that it's automating things. So you don't have to format every single aspect of it. There's automations for the margins. You click themes and designs, and it will automate those throughout the book. But what's nice about this is that you can still go in and customize different things. So it's been fun to play with that and do little customizations for background headers for each chapter, customize little ornamental breaks for scene breaks, things like that. So I went down the rabbit hole the other day and I was sending Jana stuff and I was like, too much. I'm crazy.
It
Stop.
was
Do you want me to leave you
cool.
alone? Do you want me to leave you alone?
Oh no. It was very, very cool. And this does mean that we are pushing CJ to probably sometime later this year do fancy hardcover editions of her Paranormal Misfits.
Yes.
So
Very
just,
exciting.
keep an eye out because we'll be talking about a Kickstarter for that a few months down the road. So
Mm.
you can do some really cool stuff with it. And if you like learning new technology and you feel like you can learn it quickly, there's a lot of benefits because you can choose cool things like that. The other really big benefit with doing it yourself is that when you need to make changes, you don't have to go to anybody else.
Mm.
Because remember, every time you fix a typo, every time you want to change a link in the back matter, anytime you want to do any of that kind of stuff, your file has to be reformatted. So if you are not doing it yourself, you do pay the price of every time you go back to a formatter, they're going to charge you for it, unless it's part of your agreement from the get-go. And we do advise if you're going to set up an agreement with somebody, see if you can't say, I want to pay for upfront formatting and then up to 3 changes. So that over time, if you're coming back, you don't have to shell out, in another, usually it's very reasonable, it's like 10 or 15 bucks, because they got to account for their time to go and find your book, find your file, make sure that the new stuff gets in, regenerate things, communicate with you. There's time involved there. So it's not wrong for formatters to charge you for that. But if you are somebody who makes a lot of changes, you're going to kill yourself in those additional fees. If you are somebody who says, I'm putting it up once and I will gather all the typos for the next 6 months and I will not touch it for 6 months and then I will make one set of changes, then getting somebody else to format it can totally be worth it, especially if you don't like learning new technologies and you don't want to have one more step to do, if you're pushing through a whole lot of files. Or a third thing you can do, depending again where your finances are, you can hire a VA, you can buy the software, have the VA learn how to do it, and then you're not functionally doing it yourself,
Mhm.
but you're also controlling that file and you can get all those changes made. So be aware you have a lot of flexibility. You have to look at your business and say, this is what's going to work for me. This is the stuff I want to hire out. This is the other stuff. Like CJ said, we steal from the best. And there's been a lot of people who have said the whole, would my time be better spent writing? I have it on my wall because you have to remind yourself that some tasks, even if you can do them, that people are going to be faster, they're going to be more efficient, and it's going to free up your time to do the things that only you can do. And you're going
Mhm.
to end up with a list that says, only I can do the writing, only I can do the selection of certain things, only I can do revisions. And you got to focus on those and then bring in help to do the rest so that you can really focus on your business and make it grow. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of things. All right, CJ, is there anything else that we want to talk to them about formatting before we send them off for the day to go get their writing done?
Just that if you do decide to jump on the Vellum train, we have a course that I have done. Currently, it's 10 videos. It's going to be 11 soon because I want to show everybody the cool background headers. It's so much fun.
They're
I love to play. So we do have that course available if you guys just want to either grab it really quick. I think it's only, how much are we charging for that? It's pretty cheap.
It's like 50 bucks,
Yeah, it's 50 bucks for about 10 videos and counting. And
and
when I
that's
add
lifetime
new
access.
videos, yeah, when I add new videos, you get them for free. But if you want to just test the waters, see what it's like, you can grab it. You can grab the test run version of Vellum. You don't have to pay for it until you actually generate files. So you could always play with it and do it with me with that, and then go from there if you are interested in Vellum. Pretty soon we're going to work on a course for Atticus so that you can also decide whether you would be interested in Atticus and all of those services there. So that is all. That's it from me.
And our last shameless plug is that we are formatters. So
Yeah.
if you hear all of this and you just go, oh, please, I don't want to do any of it. I just want to hand the file off to somebody. Come on over to our website at www.geekgirlsacademy.com. Go into our services and our store, and there's a nice little thing where we can work it out with you for how long your book is, what kind of things you need, and we'll do it for you. So lots and lots of options. All right, guys, go forth, get your writing done, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye now.
Bye, guys.